Hello and welcome back to another tutorial on my channel. Today we're going to be drawing a cat eye in coloured pencil, so let's begin. For this tutorial I'm using pretty much all Faber-Castell polychromos, and I'm starting with dark sepia and just using that to do a little outline on the darkest parts of the eye. This is just the technique that I like to use. You don't have to draw it like this. There are loads of different ways to draw a cat's eye, but I like this because it creates a bit of a contrast and it's a good place to start. To achieve a colour this dark, you really need to press on really hard with the pencil and get as bold of a colour as possible. Obviously it depends on the picture that you're using, but for this picture, this part was really dark. I'll link the reference photo that I used for this tutorial in the description down below, and then you can follow along and you can recreate it for yourself. Here I am just filling in the pupil, making sure to avoid that little semicircle there for the highlight and leave that white. That's really important. Erase any pencil marks, and now I'm going to go in with Cream by Faber-Castell just to add quite a strong base colour and get rid of that grainy texture so that we can have a smooth surface to work on. There's quite a lot of green in this eye, so the next colour that I'm going to use is Earth Green Yellowish by Faber-Castell again, and I'm just doing some lines coming out of the pupil, just pointing in the direction of the outside all the way around. Ignore that other green that I've just used, and I'm just going to leave some little patches towards the left there where the yellow still shows through, just because it just makes it look more realistic, and that's what is on the reference photo. Next I did the exact same thing with burnt ochre, making sure to vary the pressure that I use to try and blend it into that green, just doing it sort of on the outside edge of that green just to blend it into the yellow. Just keep going over it until it's starting to look a bit more blended together. Start doing these lines from the outside edge of the eye as well, because that is what's going to give it that spherical, round, realistic kind of look. I like to go back over everything that I've done with previous colours just to blend it all, so I'm using that green again just to add a few more lines all the way around and make the colour more vibrant and just get it all to blend. You're going to get sick of me saying blend, sorry. A slightly darker green now, this is Pine Green, and just continue doing exactly what we were doing before, darkening up those areas and creating more depth. Can you see how this is just instantly adding life to that eye and brightening it up, making it look more like a real cat eye? There's often like 4 or 5 different colours that you'll use just for that part of the eye, so it takes a lot of layering to get to the end result. Back in with that lighter green again now, just to blend it all together. Back to burnt ochre now, and I'm pressing on much harder this time, just to start really building up those darker parts of the eye. I don't know if you can see it properly, but I've actually started mapping out some veins and some squiggly lines towards the right hand side and a little bit towards the left. And now I'm using dark sepia again to add a bit of shadowing into the eye. So just at the top there, underneath the eyelid, there will be a bit of natural shadowing, and towards the bottom and the outside edges. You want to press on quite lightly with this because it is quite a dark pencil, and you want to create a really natural, seamless blend. You don't want it to look really streaky and patchy. Just keep doing those little lines coming out of the centre towards the outside edge until you feel like you're happy with how the overall eye looks. I've just started adding some more veins and texture and different shapes into the eye there. Now I'm just using that darker pine green again to add some more of that vibrance back in. And dark sepia again, just keep going. as you can see, I like to spend quite a lot of time just going back in with the same colours and darkening it up until it looks satisfied, until I'm satisfied. Now I'm using cold grey one in the highlight, and I'm just doing like a little star kind of shape coming out of the centre. That's just what it looks like on the picture. And then I actually used a luminance pencil on top of it, but you can just use cold grey 3. I don't know why I use that. Then I'm using dark sepia again just to bring it all together. Now I'm using black just to go over those dark sepia areas and make them really dark and make it pop. If there are any areas that you feel like need a bit of extra colour, just go back in with a few of the colours that we've used until you're fully happy with it. Okay, now I'm using burnt sienna, which is like a red toned colour, and I'm just using that to darken those veins and add more definition and texture. Moving on now to the bottom eyelid, I'm just using warm grey 2 and using Nougat, never know how to pronounce that one, just to add some shadowing around the edges of it. I wanted to just add a bit more of a cool tone in there, so I put a tiny bit of cold grey one over the top of that white area. Now I'm just darkening that up again with dark sepia. I'm just doing some little like C-shaped movements at the bottom. Now it's time to move on to the fur. So just erase the pencil lines again, just makes it look cleaner, and go in with the base of Ivory all over, just to again soften the grain of the paper. And now it's a case of mapping out the fur with pencil strokes. So I used Nougat and just did some little light pencil strokes just to begin putting it down at the top. At this point I must have looked back at everything and thought, that needs a bit more work, which often happens. So if you feel the same way, feel free to just go back and refine any of the areas that you've already done. Clearly wasn't happy at this stage. Right, back onto the fur now. Just carry on using Ivory and Nougat on top and just keep mapping out the fur, erase the pencil lines as you go, and just start to get a feel for the direction that it's moving in. One of the main things to remember when you're drawing fur is that it doesn't all move in like one neat direction. Often you'll have hairs overlapping, and you've just got to keep looking at the reference photo to make sure that it looks realistic, and don't try and make it up as you go along, because sometimes it ends up looking a bit too perfect. As a pet portrait artist, I get commissioned to draw people's pets for them, and one of the most common types of cat that I do draw is a tabby cat, which is why I chose this picture for this tutorial, because they have some lovely markings and patterns in their fur. Once you're happy with that first layer, I started using Bistre and doing the exact same thing over the top just to warm it up a little bit and just add a bit more dimension. I'm concentrating a lot of that colour towards the actual eye itself, so around the edges of the eyelids, and also applying a bit more pressure on those areas where the markings are at the top and towards the inner and outer corners. Next, I use dark sepia just to darken all those areas and bring it all together. Keep alternating between Nougat, Bistre and dark sepia until you feel satisfied. Now I'm just using a little bit of black, quite sparingly, just to darken those areas up and add a bit more contrast. Back to dark sepia now, just keep going, honestly, there's no other way to do it than just keep building those layers over and over and over. If you like repetitive tasks, then you're probably going to enjoy drawing pet portraits because it involves a lot of repetitive actions. It's quite relaxing though at the same time. I decided to just extend the edge of the drawing a little bit just to make it a bit of a nicer, well-rounded shape. The good thing is you can just make little tweaks like that as you go. The thing is though, once you've gone too far you can't take it back, so it's always better to do less and then add more. By this point I start to apply quite a bit more pressure with the first strokes, and my hand usually starts to hurt, so yours might be quite sore by this point, but just keep going back over it with the different colours and eventually you will get to a point where you're happy with it. I'm just adding in the final touches now. This eye study took me about 2 hours overall to complete, if that's a good indicator of time. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and if you do try this tutorial out, please tag me in social media. I'd love to see what you come up with, and yeah, I'll be making some more tutorials in future, so stick around. Thank you for watching.